Timbered City Gate. This is BlueBrixx set 103753. It was released in September 2021 for about 180 euros. As you can see, my box is slightly damaged, and so I got it for a few euros less. This construction block set consists of 5,258 pieces. It is compatible to the sets by other companies like Lego, Kobe, Mega, and so on. This is a BlueBrixx special set, so like most of the special sets, this set doesn't come with building sections. All the bags where the bricks are in are unnumbered. So I would recommend that you open all the bags before you start with the build and also sort all the bricks by type, so that you don't have to search for an individual brick at an individual step. This just costs too much time. So when you have sorted bricks, this smoothens the building experience extremely, at least in my experience. Another thing about the special sets is that they don't come with printed building instructions. You have to download them as a PDF file from the BlueBrixx servers. Well, and that's what I'm going to do now. I will download the building instructions and then I will empty the box so that I can start to sort all my bricks. Alright, I downloaded the instructions. They are about 190 megabytes huge. And yeah, starting with them won't be a problem, but I still have to sort all my bricks. And this is really a huge pile of bricks. Wow, that's impressive. Luckily, many bags just contain one type of bricks, and that makes sorting a bit easier. But you can also see that there are a lot of bags with different kind of bricks in them. And yeah, I think I will have to sort at least a few hours until I can start with the build. It took me a few hours, but now all the bricks are sorted in such a way that I know where to look for every individual brick. That will really help during the building process. The most annoying part about the sorting process was that I stupidly dropped this bowl here, and so all these flowers here were scattered all over the room, and yeah, I had to pick them up again, and I hope that I did find every one of the flowers and that there isn't, or that there aren't a few of them hidden underneath some furniture or whatever. Well, another thing about sorting is that you get a look at more or less every single brick, and that means I know what kind of quality of these bricks have. And as you can see, some of the bricks, or most of the bricks better said, got these huge ugly injection holes. These aren't the nicest bricks to look at. But also there are some bricks with barely visible injection points. This looks way better. Or have a look at this 1x4 brick here. The injection point is barely visible. It's over here on the third start from the left. And this is really cool. Also, I don't think we will have any problems with the clutch power. That's just perfectly fine. The only thing that I really don't like is that these injection holes are so visible that just looks ugly. But when I see things right, in the end there won't be any visible stats in the completed build, and so it shouldn't matter if the injection points are visible or not. Well, then it's time to start with step 1. Step 9. So far we have created these two segments here, and they look almost identical. There are only slight differences. So on this side the only difference is that this 1 by 1 round tile is one stat to the left compared to the 1 by 1 round tile here. And on the other side, we can distinguish those two segments by the differently colored bricks in this brick wall look. And now in step 9, we need this knowledge because there isn't anywhere marked which of these two segments we need now. But we can see down here there is this dark tan part, and on this one it isn't there, but on this one. So this means in step 9 we need this segment here. Step 30. In this step we need 3 of these hollow studs here, these only studs. These things are quite common in BlueBrixx sets, and I don't know who introduced them to the construction blocks world. I think it was Kobe. I'm not sure if Lego uses them, but you see those things a lot in Kobe and BlueBrixx sets. And normally there is a little tool included in BlueBrixx sets to place them at their right position. So we want to place this hollow stud in this hole over here. And normally we would stick a bar inside this hollow stud and then place the whole thing here, and then we can remove the bar again, and the only stat should remain inside this brick here. But the problem now is that there was no tool included in the set, and that means that we have to use our fingers, and that's normally not so easy. Luckily, we can place them in these huge holes, and that's way easier than where we place those only studs normally. Normally, we would use them on the underside of bricks or plates, so that we got a little stud on this side, and that means we can simply change the building direction. So when one of the hollow studs would sit between those two bricks, that means the two bricks are connected by the only stud, and we can go on building in both directions. I don't know what's going on here. I guess we are just going to use the stud to be able to build sideways. Step 41. I just have placed all these tiles here on this edge of the building, and I think this makes the building really look cool. This is a good idea, but it's really annoying to place all those tiles. And as you can see, there are 3 more sides to do, and this really takes a lot of time. That's not a nice work. At least the result looks great. Step 46. This is quite cool. Every brick in dark brown is marked with a DB in the building instructions, so we won't run into the problem that we mistake a brick in dark brown with reddish brown, which sometimes is quite difficult to distinguish in the building instructions. Step 52. In this step and in previous steps, we have placed these pillars and furniture and the stuff here on this floor, and there's just one problem. We place all these things on places which aren't supported from below. So as you can see here, for example, this box here or this barrel, it's just placed on the plate which has no support from below. It's just floating in the air, and when we push too hard, we will detach the plate from the rest of the build. The whole thing will just fall through, and that's the reason why for these steps I removed the wall again, which actually had been here all the time before. You remember that we placed all these tiles here, and well, I had to detach the tiles on this side and on this side again so that I could remove the whole wall. And yeah, I had also to do this on the other side here, but I already have reattached the wall again, and now I can reattach this wall. And well, then I have to reattach all these tiles here again. And well, hopefully we won't have to interlock too much on these studs here, because I think when I put pressure on them, they will just fall through again, and yeah, to rescue them I will have to remove the walls again. Step 77. Right now we are building the next floor, which later on we will interlock with the pillars which we have placed before, and yeah, it will look like this. But for now, let's have a look at all these tiles and jumper plates in this nougat color. You see that there's a big difference in the color. These are different shades of nougat, but I'm quite sure that all these tiles are supposed to be in the same color. Yeah, the bricks really don't have the best quality here. Step 84. This is one of the steps needed for building a winch. And besides other bricks, we are going to use in this step a normal 1x1 brick, a 1x1 brick modified, and this 1x1 brick modified with clip. What's a bit difficult now is to see where to use these 1x1 bricks. So it's quite easy to see that the 1x1 brick modified with clip is up here, but we got a 1x1 brick here, and which one is the normal 1x1 brick and which one is the 1x1 brick modified? I placed the normal brick down here and the 1x1 brick modified below the 1x1 brick modified with clip here. I did this because when we have a look at the next step, step 85, there we see this little segment from the other side. And as you can see, we are placing something on the side of the whole build. And yeah, this is only possible when there is this open stud here. So that means The 1x1 brick modified has to be placed here. Step 86. So now we have placed the winch on the floor. And on the step before, we also have added a lot of smaller stuff. And here are some cool building techniques used. For example, have a look at this fire extinguisher here. It's made out of this, yeah, what is it? This Technic piece here. It's a pipe, and inside the pipe we have put this clip here, which holds a little fire gun, a pistol, and everything combined, that's a fire extinguisher. That's a really cool idea. But what I like the most is this lamp here. That's a cool idea. It's made just out of two pieces, so we got this little black pan here or whatever it is, and this pan holds this bulb up here. It's a little bubble with a pin on its lower side, so we can interlock those two things. And I think this is a really cool idea. These are very neat details. Step 92. We are in the middle of building our tower's clockwork, and here's something I just noticed, which I think is quite interesting. This is a BlueBrixx special set, so that means we use bricks by different companies, and this gear wheel here is made by Kata. Have a look here. It says Kata, and that's cool. I think Kata has quite good quality bricks, and I haven't used anything by Kata before, and that's really cool. Step 96. In this step we are using a brick, or better said a minifigure utensil I haven't seen so far. This toolbox here in flat silver, that's what the FS stands for, is new to me. LEGO uses it since 2012, and it appeared in about 20 sets, 20 something, I think 22 or 23, I'm not quite sure. But LEGO only uses them in dark blue and in red. So this flat silver toolbox is something which is unique, I would say. Step 115. I just have connected the completed clockwork floor to the rest of our tower, and I want to show you the handrail of the staircase here. I think it's quite cool. It looks very interesting, and also the building technique is quite interesting, because it only consists of 3 different pieces. Each element of this handrail consists of 3 different pieces. So we got this tab here, which is held by this clip thing. I don't know what it is called. And this clip thing sits on a handgun. It's just a pistol, which is interlocked with the stud of this 1x1 brick modified here. And yeah, we just have to repeat this element 7 times, I think, and then we got a complete handrail. This is quite a cool idea. Step 122. This is a very long-awaited step. In the step, we have placed this 2x2 corner plate here, and this 1x12 plate here. And this is very important because it finally stabilizes our wall. We have placed on each corner 30 of those 1x1 brick modifieds on each other. This corner here, this corner here. Oh, let me turn around the build. And we also started to do it here. And here, I guess we will also place more of those one-on-one bricks on each other until it reaches the number of 30. The same here. And as you can imagine, this isn't very stable at all. It's extremely wobbly. And now, finally, with the help of those plates here, we can stabilize the whole thing. And now it is at least connected up here and, well, all the way down at the bottom. And yeah, it looks not so great, but at least it won't fall apart now. And yeah, in later steps we will also place those tiles like here on all those dots, and then it will also look quite cool. Step 145. We are building the clock right now, and I have placed all these black flowers here, which, yeah, I think they are supposed to be the numbers. Are these 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So we got the 12 numbers here. Those. Then I have to place 4 of those, of those rounded tiles. Let me just do this real quick. And what's left now are those 4 1x1 round plates and this 2x2 round tile with hole in it. And well, it's easy to see the 2x2 round tile with hole in it. It's just here. But I'm not quite sure where the 4 1x1 plates are. I think they are underneath this round tile. I think these are these 4. Yeah, I think we can see 4 of those white structures there, and I guess this is the side view of those round plates. So that means we place those plates down there. It's not so easy. Maybe I should have done that before placing the tiles. Yeah, I should have done that before I have placed the tiles. Can I remove them with just one hand? Yeah, I can. Okay, the tiles are removed. And now I can try again to place the plates. This works way better now. Then I can put the round tile with hole in it on top of those plates. And now I wrap those other tiles around it. I just have to find the 4th one. Ah, it flew over there. Like this. And yeah, you can see the plates down here in the hole. This should be identical now. Step 148. In this step, once again, we have to place one of these single studs, these hollow studs. And before I said that we don't have a tool to place them in the set, but I was wrong. we got one of those bars here, and normally BlueBrixx give us those bars in blue, and we can see in the instructions how we have to use it, but here it isn't mentioned in the instructions and it is black. Maybe we will need it later as part of the build, but for now we can use it as a tool to place this only stack. So first of all, I have to prepare these two pieces here so that we will have a place where we can later place the only stack. Okay, so this looks like this now. And now I'm going to use the tool. I pick up the only stat like this. And now I will put it in here. And well, how will I do this now with just one hand? Let me try to place the camera like this. Okay, now I have to fix the camera somehow. Does this work? Yeah, it works. Okay, what I do now is that I put a fingernail on top of the only stat, and then I can remove the tool without any problem. Voila! Step 197. In the meantime, we have built a big chunk of the top floor of the tower. And once again, the whole construction doesn't look too sturdy so far. So you can see we have placed a lot of 1x1 bricks, 1x2 bricks, and 1x4 bricks on top of each other. And they aren't interlocked with the bricks next to them. So everything looks a bit wobbly, and yeah, it's not very convincing. But now in this step, we finally give the whole construction some stability, because we start to interlock those segments with each other. And so the whole thing won't fall apart, hopefully. So this one goes here. Then we get this 2x2 corner brick here. That's a bit difficult to place it with just one hand. Okay, and here the whole thing still isn't too sturdy, but we will connect those bricks with each other too, with the help of these tiles here. And now the whole wall won't cause any problems. I guess in the next steps we will have to do this with the other walls too. Step 199. I just have finished all the stabilization works of this floor, and now everything is absolutely sturdy. But while placing these tiles here, I noticed that there are problems with the color. The black of the tiles isn't always the same, so you can see that this tile here is in a different shade of black than all the other tiles. It looks a bit washed out. We won't notice it later because we will put the roof of the tower on this floor, and so it won't be visible, but we know that there are problems with the color, and that's just not so nice. The same once again is with the tiles down here, all these nougat tiles. are supposed to be in the same color, but there are clearly differences in the shade. So, yeah, the color management of those bricks wasn't the best during the production. Step 219. Until now, the building instructions have always told us when we had to use pieces in dark brown. Every time when a piece in dark brown was used, it was marked in the box up here with the letters D and B. But it's not the case in this step. So when we have a look here, I think these two pieces over here are clearly darker than this piece. So I would say these plates here are in dark brown and this jumper plate is reddish brown. And I also think that behind here this brick modified is also in dark brown, but it isn't marked with a DB. I think they somehow messed up the layout in the step, because when we have a look at the image we can see that here and here there's a DB. Somehow it did slide down from up here down there. And well, this might belong to the brick modifieds, but this DB maybe belongs to this plate here, but there is no third DB which did slide down. So I don't know what happened here. I think they just completely messed up this step here. So I just will use these, and these pieces in dark brown, and this one here in reddish brown, and I hope this is correct. At least it's also in the same colors in the completed little sub build down here. Step 249. We just have completed the upper floor and now we have attached it to the rest of the tower, and this tower is incredibly large. This is really cool. I mean, the roof is still missing, and yeah, that's what we are going to start now in the next step. Step 252. We are building the base of the roof right now, and we have used several of those 2x16 plates for that. But the last of those plates I need now is sadly bent. You can see this? Well, I think we put enough pressure on it with all those slopes here, so later on this won't be recognized. But that's still not a sign of good quality bricks. Step 270. Right now we are building the tip of the tower's roof, and here we got some problems with the clutch power. So have a look at our tip here. When I pick it up, it just falls apart. I think later in the build it will be supported from below, so there won't be too many problems with it. But the parts used here really aren't the best. Well, actually, they are quite bad. Parts without clutch power are most of the time useless. Step 271. The slopes without clutch power from the step before are still very problematic. So we got, for example, this corner slope here, and now I want to attach this inverted corner slope. But this doesn't work at all. Have a look. I try to interlock them, and for some reason you can't interlock all 4 studs. It's impossible. I don't know, maybe this negative stud inside this corner slope here is too huge. I have no idea. But even with force, I wasn't able to do it with only my fingers. Maybe I can find some tool now, and with enough power and pressure put on it, I can interlock those things, but I don't know if it is possible. We will see. Well, I found a solution for my problem. Not a satisfying one, but at least it works for now. What I did was that with one of these 2 combinations, I just had to put enough pressure on those 2 bricks, and finally they interlocked. But the other combination of those bricks didn't interlock, no matter how much pressure I put on those bricks. What I did now is that I destroyed a bit the negative stud inside this corner slope here, and then, yeah, with some pressure I could place the other negative slope here below that corner slope, and well, finally those 2 bricks interlocked. The other problem which I still have to solve is the missing clutch power of those corner slopes. As you can see, everything is falling apart, and I still hope that we will find some stability in one of the next steps. Step 274. The tip is finally sturdy. We added this under construction in white here, and this helps immensely. Now the bricks without clutch power get pushed from below, and so everything just stays in place how it should be. Oof, but this was really no fun experience to build this thing. It always fell apart in my hands, and it was just awful. But luckily, the result is sturdy, and so it was worth the trouble. Step 282. The tower is completed. It's so huge. It's just incredible. Well, this is the first part of the build, and now we will go on. Next we have to build the walls next to the tower. Step 304. I got a problem here. So we have to place these 3 1x2 bricks, those 1 in the background. And I think those are masonry bricks, because in this step we need 3 masonry bricks and 2 normal 1x2 bricks. So the normal 1x2 bricks are placed here and here. That means there aren't any left of them, and so these should be masonry bricks. But the problem now is, how do we have to place them? Which way around? Is the masonry facing us, or is this side facing us? Here, here, and here are the positions where those bricks have to be placed. But now we have to find out how to place them. So let's look a few steps further. Maybe there is a step at which we can see the build from the other side. And here we are, step 311. There we can see that the masonry part is visible. So let's go back to step 304. This means when the masonry part is visible from this side, then from our side we have to see these bricks in this kind of way. Okay, it's no problem to place this brick here, but placing this brick here and this brick here isn't so easy because this part here isn't supported from below. So what I'm going to do now is that I will remove some of the bricks here. So I will remove this one and I will remove this one. And now I should be able to place the bricks because I can support the build from below, just like this. And the other one goes here. And now we can reattach the bricks which we have removed before. And yeah, now I can place the other bricks needed in the step. This one, and so on. Step 314. To build this balustrade, we need 2 of those reddish-brown 1x8 tiles. But I can't find any. I don't think there are any left. There should be 4 in the set. We have already used 2 of them, but I think there had only been 2 from the beginning, so 2 of those tiles are missing. We got 2 of those dark brown tiles here left, but I think we need them in a later step. So what I'm going to do now is that I will use these 2 tiles from my collection. They are BlueBrixx, and well, I got them because I needed them for another project. I want to build a huge Star Wars sandcrawler mock, and so, well, I removed those 2 tiles now from my other project, and I just have to remember later on that I have to order 2 new tiles for the sandcrawler project. But now I can continue with the cool tower here, and so that's fine. Step 316. We are building right now the roof of the first wall, and well, we need to place 144 of those tiles here in this step. That's a lot of work, and I think we have to build 2 of those roof parts here because the roof has 2 sides. So that means 288 of those tiles we have to place in the next minutes. That's a lot of work. Whoa. Step 394. One of the pieces needed in the step is a 1x4 tile in reddish brown. But once again, there isn't any tile in that color left in the set. We got a 1x4 tile in dark brown left, but we need one in reddish brown. So what I'm going to do now is, once again I use one of the tiles I was planning to use for my sandcrawler mock. So this is a BlueBrixx tile, and yeah, it should do the job. So you can see here's the place where the missing part goes, and I just can place this tile here. I hope there won't be more of those missing parts. I always hate it when my sets are incomplete. Step 439. The build is complete. And have a look at this huge thing. It's so tall. I have problems getting everything on camera. I'm still not far away enough. Yeah, now the whole build is on camera. It's so huge. It's incredible. Well, what we see here is a city gate with the remains of the city wall on both sides. And yeah, you can still find such city gates with this kind of half-timbered upper floor in central Germany, West Germany, Southwest Germany, in Switzerland, or in some parts of France, like the Alsace region. The whole thing is in minifigure scale, and this is really cool. What we see here is the gate from the inner side, from the city side. So if you want to leave the city, just go through the gate, or if you want to enter it again, just turn around and you're back inside the city. Now let's have a look at some details of this huge build. It's so huge. It's just incredible. Well, first of all, here are some little side builds. It's just loose stuff. For example, this fountain here. And I really like how it is built, but you can see that not only the fountain itself is loose, also the way how the water is shown here means that we got some loose translucent BlueBrixx here. More loose stuff are these flower pots, which are really well done, by the way. I like the idea of creating the flower pots in such a way. And also this little bench here with the street light. I would have preferred if everything was connected to the build, so I don't have to fear to lose anything of this loose stuff. I'm not a fan of loose side builds. I prefer one big build where everything is connected, but there's no reason to complain, I would say. Where do we start? Let's have a look at all these details on the wall itself. So we got here a clock, and here all these stones. I think they are called coins. This is really cool done. Or I like the steep stair here. So if you want to enter the tower, the only way is by climbing the stairs all the way up on the wall, and then you can see at the end there is a door where you can enter the tower. Here you can have a look inside the whole thing. And yeah, that's quite neat. And on the other side, you can leave the tower again. There's the next door. Or, well, you don't leave it. When you go outside this door, you just end on this part of the remaining wall. So this here is the only way inside and outside the tower. I like the way the roofs look. This is really cool with all these roof tiles. It wasn't much fun to build these roofs, but they look amazing. This is so cool. I love the colors of everything. Here we got this half-timbered part, and this isn't too realistic. So you see these angled wooden beams here. In reality, they should be on the same level as all the other beams, and in our little build here, they are just attached on the outside of the building. That's not correct. But it looks cool, so I won't complain. Here we got another cool roof with this little bell tower on top of it. And yeah, the bell. That's great. I just love how this tower looks like. It's so cool. Okay, then let's have a look at the other side of this thing. Can I move it without breaking it? No, I was not able to turn around the build with only one hand. This thing is just too huge. I had to do it off the camera and use both of my hands. Okay, now you can see the other side of the build, and I think it looks even cooler than the side I showed you before. This side is a bit more colorful. We got this really cool coat of arms here above the gate with those crossed swords, and here's a torch to the left and another one to the right. Once again, we got these coins everywhere. There are plants attached to the wall with, some flowers. We got these flags here on both sides. I love how the windows look. This is so cool. And yeah, down here is some stuff lying around. A box with a bottle, a can. This barrel with the sack on top of it. It's just a really nice building. Now, let's see what's inside the tower. So, if we want to have a look inside the upper floor, we can simply remove the whole roof. It's not interlocked to the rest of the building. Let's try some more light. Yeah, this is better. So you can see here here's a row of black tiles, and there are no studs, so the roof isn't interlocked. It just sits on top of here, and to avoid the roof sliding away, there are these 2x2 corner bricks on each corner of the roof, which just sit in the corner of this top floor, and so it won't just slide away. It fits there perfectly. To have a better look, we can also remove the front wall, and that one is attached with a few studs. As you can see here, there are some lights and curtains in front of the windows. now we can have a look inside the building. And I think the interior design really is great. There's so much going on. We got a dresser here with a radio on top of it. In the corner here there is a headstand, I think. And look how cool this how cool oh my god, I forgot a word. How cool this shelf is. It's full with some stuff. There are glasses and I don't know what it's all supposed to be. A can, I don't know, but there's a lot of cool stuff. It looks amazing. And have a look at this desk, and especially the telephone. This is so cool done. It's great. We got a room plant here in the corner, and I don't know what this is. Maybe this is some kind of office. Here we got a share of, yeah, the guy who owns this office, I would say. And his customers can sit on these chairs. Maybe it's Humphrey Bogart and he sits in his private detective office. Whatever. What else do we see? We got this piece of artwork here, this painting. Here, and a little table. And so on. A lot of cool stuff. This is so neat. I really like it. Well then, we can now remove this floor again to have a look on the floor below. But I'm not quite sure if I can do this with just one hand. I don't want to break it. Oh, that didn't sound well. Oh yeah. I destroyed the stairs. Let me just real quick repair it and then I will come back to you. Alright, the stairs are repaired and now we can have a look at the technic section of this clock tower, or a city gate, which is a clock tower at the same time. To have even a better look, we can remove once again the wall here, this whole front panel. And this time we even got a look at two floors at once. But let's have a look at the upper floor first. So you can see here all this Technic stuff, the whole clockworks are visible here. We got this little crank here, and we can move all the gears with the crank. And on the outside at the same time, the clock will move. But as you can see, it doesn't work too well. Sometimes there are problems, and yeah, only this wheel moves right now. The whole Technic construction isn't too sturdy. Did I repair it now? Yeah, it works again. We will have a look at the clock from the outside later. What I don't like so much is that this floor isn't reachable from below by stairs. I mean, the upper floor or the top floor is reachable by those stairs, but the gear floor is only reachable via a ladder. Here you can see there's a ladder, and yeah, you have to go through this hole here. It's a bit better visible from below. There you can see, here there is the ladder. And yeah, that's more or less all that we can see on the lowest of those floors. But I like the floor itself, this mosaic floor. It's really well done. Okay, then let me real quick reassemble the side. Oh no, there's no need to reassemble it. First of all, I want to show you how the clock moves. Well, this is a bit underwhelming. My clock hands don't move. You can see when I move the crank, the whole clockworks seem to work, but the hands don't move. I think they are supposed to move. For some reason, mine just stands still. I don't know what's wrong. I think they don't move individually, so that means both move at once. You can't really set a real time, but I have no idea why mine don't move at all. Maybe I messed up something with the clockworks. I don't know. Well, I don't mind. I don't think that I will have a look inside the tower once again. I will reassemble everything now, and I prefer how it looks from the outside. I'm not such a fan of those gimmicks, but I think when they construct those gimmicks here, it should at least work. That's a bit stupid. Okay, I'm going to reassemble everything now. Okay, so I have reassembled this amazing building and it really looks great. It's so amazing. It's beautiful. The building experience, on the other hand, wasn't always beautiful. For example, the roof on top of the walls might look great, but it was really no fun to build this. It took really a long time to place all those one by one tiles, and such things really don't make fun. You have to place hundreds of those tiles, and it's just utterly boring, and no, that's not a cool building experience. At least the result looks great. The other roof, on the other hand, was quite a cool building experience because it's always fun to build these kind of pyramids. I mean, this is the way every child would build a roof. And this is always cool when you can put a lot of the same bricks on top of each other. That's the same reason why I like so much Lego's Great Pyramid of Giza. It's always fun to build pyramids. But the roof also had a problem. We got the tip here and the bell tower thing, and oh, this was no fun at all. We had terrible clutch power with those 4 bricks, those 2 here and the same on the other side. And on the same time, the other side of the bricks did have way too much clutch power. We weren't able to interlock the bricks below correctly, and those bricks were just broken. That's terrible. And I mean, those aren't some small bricks. Those are really big bricks, and they are important for the whole build. It would look terrible if we would leave them out. That's not a good thing. The clutch power wasn't consistent, I have to say. So most of the time we didn't have any problem with the clutch power, but for example, all these masonry bricks did have different clutch powers. So I didn't have any problem that I couldn't interlock them or they would fall apart. But with some of those bricks you had to push way harder than with others. And another problem, considering the clutch power, are all these tiles here, those coins. Some of them didn't hold at all in place. But luckily, you could interchange them. So maybe when this tile didn't hold in place here, you could it place there, and this tile then put over there. So in the end, I could place every tile without them falling off again, but I had to try out where they would hold and where not. And yeah, that shouldn't be the case in a good quality set. The set that cost just below 180 euros, and we got over 5,000 pieces in it. That's quite a good price. But one thing which really shouldn't happen when you buy such an expensive set is that you got missing pieces. And we got 3 missing tiles. Luckily, I got some left in my own collection, but this is extremely annoying because when you have to order again those missing bricks from BlueBrixx, they will send them to you for free, but it just takes weeks and weeks, and that's annoying. I want to be able to complete my build without needing to wait several weeks. Another thing we have seen is that the clockworks doesn't work. So the clock hands don't move. I don't know if this is intended or not. I think they should move. And yeah, it seems that the quality of those bricks used there isn't well enough. Another thing about bricks is that we got some problems with the colors. So bricks that should have the same color are there in different shades. This is only a problem you really see with the tiles on the floor, but it's a bit annoying. At least we can say it's the old building, an old building, and so the floor doesn't look exactly the same everywhere. But that's, I don't know. I don't want to find a reason for bad bricks being good. That's stupid. But those are all minor problems when we don't count the clutch power problem of the bricks on the top here. And all in all, I really like the set. I mean, it looks so amazing. Most of the time, I had very much fun building it, and it took me quite a while to place all those thousands and thousands of pieces. So I'm really happy with it. And yeah, that the play feature doesn't work, that's not too important for me. I will place this on my shelf, and I will feel really happy every time when I see this thing. It's so sweet.